Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the iBUG Buzz for March 7th, 2022. This is episode number 524. We keep clicking on up there. The iBUG Buzz is an open forum where we discuss all things in the iOS world. That means we talk about your iPhones, your iPads, your iPod Touch. We even talk about the Apple Watch and the Apple TV. We talk about the hardware, the apps, and maybe even some accessories and peripherals. But we stick to the iOS world. This call is being recorded and eventually will show up as a podcast. Can be found on our website, ibugtoday.com or .org, the Sight into Sound Radio website, and is available on the podcast app of your choice or your smart speaker by asking your smart speaker to play the iBug Buzz podcast. As I said, we are recording it so we can do all that. So to help us get as clean a recording as possible, we ask that everybody please stay muted unless you are speaking. That helps us get a clean one. So if you want to speak, we ask that you, and I'll go over muting and unmuting here in a sec. We ask that you unmute, state your name, and wait to be called upon by one of the hosts, either myself or Sandhya. By the way, I don't know if I said it. My name is Brad Snyder this evening here, your host. Let's see. So if you want to raise your hand, if you're on your iPhone in the Zoom app, you'll find a mute unmute button in the lower left corner of the Zoom app screen. If you're on a Windows PC tonight, you'll use Alt-A. If you're on a Mac, you'll use Command-Shift-A. If you're on an iPad, it's similar to the iPhone, except it's up near the top of the screen, slightly to the right of center. If you're joining us tonight on a dial-in phone, you'll use *6, and all of these are toggles. You use the same action to unmute yourself and then to mute yourself when you're done speaking. We do not use the raise hand feature. Like I said, just unmute yourself, state your name, and then be patient and we will call on you. Let's see. I think that's all the preliminaries there. Sandhya, would you like to make some announcements?
All right. Thank you, Brad. Yes, we've got another full week this week at iBUG. So we are here now at the iBUG Buzz on Monday night, and then we do something very similar tomorrow on Clubhouse from 5 to 6, and all times that I'm going to say are Central Time. And then, let's see, back to Thursday, we're going to have our Vila Book Club, and we're reading The Rosie Project by Graham C. Simpson, and the DB number 78,150. Got about 8 hours or so. So start now, you'll be done by Thursday. That will also be on Zoom, the same Zoom conference line. So if you're here now, you can join all these other Zoom events. Friday night is iBUG night at the virtual movies, and for the big reveal, we'll have some clues and all that good stuff, and that'll be at the halftime at the midpoint of our call tonight. So please stick around for that if you want to play and try to guess what the movie is and those fabulous prizes. Then on Sunday, we have iBUG Cafe, and it is a deep dive. And we are now getting ready to start traveling. Aren't we ready for that? So we're going to talk about different apps that you would need to get your flight, and once you're there, what you're going to do, and getting hotels. And so it's going to be a really cool, very interesting program. So come and check that out. And that will be on Sunday from 4 to 6 p.m. Central Time, again, on this same Zoom conference line. Social media. Our website is ibugtoday.org, ibugtoday.org. That's the best place to get all the information of our upcoming events, of which there are plenty. So there's an upcoming tab so you can see what's coming up for the whole month. You can subscribe. It doesn't cost anything. None of our services cost anything. Everything is free for your enjoyment and learning. Okay, let's see. We have a Twitter account. It's at iBUG Today. Facebook page, facebook.com/group/iBUG Today. It's a great place to post questions between our various training sessions, and you will get lots of different answers. Got a pretty active page there, so check that out. We are doing a fundraiser. And the tickets are $10. And you have a chance to, for a $10 donation, you have a chance to win a $500 gift card to the Apple Store. And then if you would rather improve your chances, you can get 6 tickets for $50. And that drawing will be at our anniversary celebration in May. So stick around for more information that is out there on our website as well. All right, Brad, those are our announcements for, we also quickly, I do have a mentoring program. How did I forget? The iBUG Jumpstart Mentoring Program. If you fill out it, if you are a beginner user with your iPhone and need help, complete the application that is on the website under the training tab. And then we will match you up with one of our awesome advanced users. And similarly, if you are an advanced user of your iPhone and would like to help someone else unlock the amazing power of the iPhone, the reason that we are all here, then definitely fill out the similar application for becoming a mentor. All right, Brad, with that, I hand it over to you.
All right. Thank you, Sandhya. Appreciate all those good announcements. Okay, now what we like to do before we get started is take a trip around the room and give everyone an opportunity to introduce themselves, say hello, tell us where you're from or where you're joining us from or where you're from, either one. And if you're new, we especially want to know if this is your first time or you're relatively new to joining us. And so let me get things started. My name is Brad, and I am in Dallas, Texas.
Marty Kuhn, Philadelphia, PA.
This is Herbie in Houston.
Mark Bayarjon in Montreal, Quebec, Canada.
All right. Welcome.
This is Desi in Phoenix.
Hey, Desi. Glad you're
Hey,
here.
Brad. Thanks.
Hello, this is Kushal from Gold Coast, Australia.
All right, Kushal. Long way.
Thomas in Grand Junction, Colorado.
Hello, Thomas.
Dan from Southern California.
Hey, Dan.
Ned from Kyle, Texas.
All right, Ned.
Hi, it's Judy from Connecticut.
Hello, Judy.
This is Dee from Southern Illinois.
Hey, Dee.
Jody from New Hampshire.
Welcome, Jody.
This is Roy from Fort Worth.
Roy. All right, Roy. Who else
Robert
we got?
Mitchell, Philadelphia.
Hey, Robert. Who else we got?
Linda
Robert
from
Mitchell,
Texas.
Philadelphia.
Welcome.
Free
from Virginia.
Hey, little Shree. Okay. Is that everybody? Did everybody get a chance? We don't want to leave anybody out. Okay, if we're good with that. So let's see if we can get going with the questions. We usually like to invite any of our new any of our new attendees or a new iOS user to get us started. And we try to devote at least the first portion of the program to the questions for the new users. So who'd like to kick things off for us this evening?
This is Sandhya.
Yeah, go
Shall we
ahead.
recognize Barbara? She, I think, is
Yes,
the first
let's
time
recognize
caller.
Barbara.
Yeah.
Barbara, you
I'm
here for the
on.
first time?
Yes, I am.
And I
you
believe you
hear
are,
me?
Yes, I hear you. Loud and
Okay.
clear. And you're from Philadelphia, right?
Yes, yes, I
Very
am.
nice. Very nice.
And
How'd you find us?
I got an email from our chapter president,
Okay.
and
Nice.
Denise Brown.
Okay.
And I am wading in the water right now.
Oh, well, let's see if we can throw you a lifeline.
Oh, please do. Please
Tell
do.
me what particular issues are at the top of your issue list, and I'm sure one of our listeners may have something that'll help you out.
Well, one of the things I would like to do is I have a Zoom app. I have my Zoom app, but I can't use. I don't know how to use it on my iPad. So I always use one-touch call, one-touch thing on my phone. But sometimes I get calls on my phone, and then I have to jump all the way out of the app, all the way out of the meeting to answer a call. And I figured if I had it on my iPad and I could go to Zoom on my iPad, then I could free my phone up to when there's, one of my grandchildren or children need me on the phone.
Okay.
So that's my biggest pet peeve. But by the way, I just learned today how to mute and unmute myself. I've been going to meetings all this time and have not, for 3 years, I've been going to meetings and was not able to mute myself.
On the Zoom app?
Yes, on Zoom app, on the phone.
All right. Well,
So I just did it just now for the first time. I was just so happy.
okay. Well, who can help us out with getting started using the Zoom app on the iPad?
This is Kushal.
Yes, Kushal.
So if you're, I don't know if the one tap call is supported on the iPad, but as
no, I use it on the phone. I can't use it on the iPad. It doesn't work.
Okay.
It's the HTTP
No, it doesn't work.
number.
Yeah.
Right.
So it doesn't work, but on the phone, basically you there is a iBUG cafe. If you go on YouTube, there is an iBUG cafe that Sri Roy did, and you can try and listen to that. But it's basically same as using it on the iPhone. Like if you want to join a meeting, you double tap on join, and etc. So it's basically it's not much different to using it on on the phone. Obviously, you're using one tap on the phone, but on the iPad, like if you go to the join meeting, you can enter the meeting ID and password and set your.
I can't see it all, and they read the number too fast for me to be putting it in, and I always put in the wrong number.
Okay, well, in that case, if anyone wants to chip in, feel free.
Yeah. Anybody else have any tips for joining a meeting on the iPad?
This is Herbie.
This is Jody.
Yeah. Hang on. Okay, let's go to Herbie and then Jody.
So if you're going to join a meeting via the iPad, you don't use the phone aspect. You need there's the two things you need. First of all, I don't know if it works without the Zoom app, but it might be a good idea to have that installed. But what you want is either in an email or a text message, however they send out the meeting information, there should be a link that you would click on. Like for instance, with iBUG today on the website, there's a Zoom link that you click on, which already includes the information, the user ID, the password, and all that, so you don't have to memorize that. And then it'll open an iPad. You may have a thing, do you want to join the meeting? And you should be good to go. It helps to have a Zoom account because then you're identified by name instead of iPad or whatever, but that is completely optional.
Yeah, because I read that somewhere on because I did go on YouTube, and it said something like, if I get an email and tap on that, I should be able to hit the number on my iPad, but I just couldn't find it. I didn't know what to do. So I'll go back on.
You need to look for the actual link and you click on it
that way.
So.
And that's what I didn't find. I didn't find the actual link.
Okay, let's go to Jody.
I was gonna first I was going to start by saying, have you got your Zoom app set up and logged in under your username and password on your iPad? Which that's kind of an obvious question, but you know, if you just have the app, you have to. All right.
I don't have
okay.
it
Well,
with
if
me
you
right
want. All right. Well, you definitely want to set up your Zoom app on your iPad and put your username and password in there so that you're already set up on your iPad. And then when you tap that link on your iPad, it should open up the Zoom app and go right into it. But you definitely want to go through the email until you see the, you know, the HTTP Zoom link in the email.
Okay.
Tap on that after you've got your account set up and you should be able to get right in.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right. I will do that. I have my iPad all set up. I just didn't bring it downstairs. Okay. I'll try that. Thank you very much.
Also,
Okay.
this is Kushal again.
Yes, Kusha.
Just on the subject of, you said the numbers are too fast and stuff, like reading too fast. So 2 things. Have you tried slowing your, I'm not sure how quick you are with voiceover, but have you tried slowing your speech rate down? And secondly, you can, if you use a rotor, you can flick, if you flick to characters, if you turn the rotor to characters, you can read the number character by character.
Oh, I can. So do I have to do something? I know how to, you know, I know about the rotor and the characters and the words and stuff. But what I do, I flip to characters.
So just focus your, you know, on that number and just go to meeting ID, like the information, like go to the line that says meeting ID with the rotor, then focus on character, then you can go MEETING. It'll read character by character, and then you can read the number that way as well.
Oh, and it'll go slower for me. Okay.
Yeah, it'll,
Okay.
yeah. So you can read it character by character. So 1, 6, whatever, example. So it'll read character by character. So but yeah. So I do hope that helps.
Okay, that does.
This is Helene.
Yes, Helene.
Hi, Helene.
Hi. I do this. How do I explain? When I'm doing the Zoom, and I don't know if you don't know this or not, but when you get to the place where you are having choices like join and then video, and it'll say join with or without video, you have to swipe left to right until you hear those things, and then I get into a meeting, you know, so I get to join. But there's a lot of swiping and, you know, tapping right before that, when I do a Zoom Pilates class, for example, and then I have to also tap where it says join with Wi-Fi. So there is swiping left to right until I hear what I want, and then I double tap. I don't know if that's something that would help you, or
That's in settings, right?
no, it's not in settings. It's when
There's not the settings one. Okay.
No, when Kushal said, you know, how to, and Jody told you how to get into using Zoom, but once you're in, you know, sometimes I've had to swipe left to right until I got to the right place, and then I double tap.
Oh, okay.
So
Okay.
I hope that helps.
This
Okay.
This is Kushal again.
Yeah,
Sorry.
go ahead, Kuchel, and let's try and move on.
Okay, yeah. Just one thing, you can, for the mute and unmute, just tip on that. You can do a 2-finger double tap, and you to mute and unmute yourself as well.
What do I double? I can double tap on an iPad.
Yeah, so 2-finger double tap. So what it will do, it'll do like a, it'll sound like you're leading the meeting, but then the sound will come back, and then you can do the 2-finger double tap to either mute yourself or 2-finger double tap to unmute yourself. So that's a bit of a tip.
I haven't used the iPad yet. I've just been doing it on the phone, and it's *6, I think, on the phone. Yeah, *6.
Okay.
That's
Well, all
why it's on the
right.
phone.
Hopefully we'll get you. I'm sorry, who was that?
Thank you, everyone. I will try all of these things until I get it right. Maybe, hopefully by next week, I can tell you I can be on my iPad in the meeting.
All right. That'd be great. Okay, who'd like to go next with our next question?
Good evening, everyone. This is Rachel.
Sorry, is it Rachel?
Yes, this is Rachel.
Okay, good. It cut off. Very good. Thank you. Welcome.
I have the same issue that sounds like the young lady is having, but mine is not. I used to have a little dialogue box that popped up every time I needed to turn my talk back on my iPad. It's not doing it any longer. So I'm not able to use any accessible technology on here. It's not doing anything.
Okay. You talk back, you mean voiceover on your iPad.
Right.
Let's see. Who knows what may be going on with this? She's not getting a prompt to turn voiceover on her iPad. Anybody got any ideas?
And I do hit the button 3 times, correct?
Yes, that would be the accessibility shortcut. Anybody?
Yes, it's not working.
Well, go ahead. Who is that?
And I have an iPad.
Can you get into settings and do it from
haven't-
settings?
Hang on.
It won't allow me.
I need you guys to state your name and wait to be called upon, please.
Sorry.
It's okay. Go ahead. Who is it?
Barbara.
Barbara. Go ahead, Barbara. Thank you.
Can you do it from settings, hon?
Hi, Barbara.
Settings?
Hi, Barbara. This is Rachel. Through settings, it won't allow me to do it either.
Oh my.
I mean, I think what she means is go into accessibility and look for setting up your accessibility shortcut.
Mm-hmm. Tried that. It's not even available.
Interesting.
I don't know.
That's a strange one.
And it's an old iPad. I have an iPad Air. So
This is Dee.
Go ahead, Dee.
One of the easiest things I think for you would be to just say, "Hey Siri, turn on voiceover."
It won't even allow me to do that.
This is Roy.
Go ahead, Roy.
Have you tried holding your side button in for just 2 seconds and just saying start voiceover or open voiceover?
And this is on my iPad. I'm trying. I'm
the
feeling.
side button, you know, where you lock it.
Okay.
Just hold it in and say open Siri. I'm sorry, say open voiceover, and it should work.
So it's 2 buttons over here.
Wait a second. It's an older iPad Air, you said, with a home button, though.
Yes. And so.
She need to use the home button, Roy?
Yes, sir. Yeah, this is Roy again. Yeah, with the home button, just hold it in and say open voiceover.
Okay.
This is Herbie.
Yeah, go ahead, Herbie.
One important question. So, do you have any other accessibility features turned on, like the Zoom magnifier or anything like that?
No, I do not.
Okay, because
It won't let me do any of those. It used to, but when it updated this last time, it just changed everything. Everything different. And so I was thinking this might be because this is an old product. Well, you know, my tablet. So I was just like, well, let me see.
That's possible. So you can't turn on voiceover, and there's just no way it will not let you turn on voiceover in any way, shape, or form.
At all. And when I push to talk to Siri, she says, that is unavailable, or I can't do that. And I'm like, okay.
Can she do anything else?
Sometimes.
Sometimes
she'll look up stuff. Sometimes she won't. So I was like, listen here, I have to fire her. So I need to hire somebody else.
Do you have access to a computer?
Yes, I do.
So one thing you could try is, I apologize. I'll take care of that in a minute. One thing I might try then is hooking your iPad up to the computer. If you have Windows, you'll need to install iTunes. If you have a Mac, then it'll automatically show up in the sidebar. But what I would do is because on the main screen there, you can turn on voiceover using the computer. So that's something I would try. And you go in there and check the box for voiceover and see if it works that way. So that's one suggestion I have.
Okay.
This is Roy again.
Go ahead, Roy.
I just want to apologize. I said that wrong. It's not open voiceover. It's turn voiceover on is the command that should work. That's all.
Okay, thanks.
I thank you all. I will do those things when we get out of class. I don't know if I can do it while we're on here.
No, you'll need to be off of everything. Sorry, who was that?
This is Sri.
Oh, okay, Sri, go ahead.
Quick question. Do you know if your iPad is on airplane mode?
No, it's not. It's not on airplane mode.
And just out of curiosity, how do you know it's not on airplane mode? Can you see the screen?
Yes, I can. I have some vision. Yes, I do. And it's not. It says my Wi-Fi is hooked up. I thought of that too, right? And I was like, my airplane mode might be on because sometimes if you're using your phone, certain things is not. You can't use the accessibility if airplane mode is on. And so that was one of my first things I checked. It's not on.
So when you see the screen, you can actually see the Wi-Fi connection showing the icon on the top of the status bar.
Correct.
And is when you ask Siri any question, does she or he give you any response back?
Sometimes it's not consistent. It's not consistent. And I was just like, okay, I might have to combine another
one. Final question. Have you ever asked if voiceover is on?
If she answers, yeah, I've asked. Nothing is on. And then she'll say, well, please repeat yourself. I was about to log out and get back on her.
David, this is Sandhya. I think David has a comment.
Oh, David.
Oh,
Yes.
oh
David.
yeah. Sorry. Yeah, I was wondering since you are low vision, if you have like a CCTV, you could actually put the iPad under the CCTV and maybe access the menus that way and get to the accessibility. And then, because I did that a long time ago when I had better vision. I just got my iPhone. I would sometimes mess with the settings under the CCTV. I guess worst case is get somebody sighted to look at it, and because one time I did have my daughter do it because I reset my phone, and when you do the full reset, it doesn't have voiceover automatically. You have to go in and turn it on manually if you do like that system reset type thing. But I guess you just did a regular update though, so it usually doesn't affect it, but on a regular iOS update, but something else might have happened. But anyway, that's my 2 cents.
This is Terry.
Go ahead, Terry.
I'm a little bit late to the party, as they say. So if I've missed something, please forgive me. I heard mention of both voiceover and Siri, but those are two different entities, two different voices.
Okay, see that I thought that I did think that. I just didn't. Again, I'm new to learning everything. So voiceover is what we use for my Android, I thought, and talkback is for iOS, right?
Other way around.
Okay. Okay.
Voiceover, this is Terry.
Go ahead, Terry.
VoiceOver is for iOS, and Siri is also used with Apple, but he's an artificial intelligence kind of voice. He's
virtual assistant.
Right.
Thank you. Yeah, he's a virtual assistant, whereas voiceover is the voice that is used in iOS
Screen reader.
as a screen reader. Thank you. I'm kind of slow on the draw here.
Just helping you out there.
I appreciate that. I need all the help I can get.
Okay. Well,
This is Jody.
yeah, Cody, go ahead. And let's see if we can wrap this
Just
up.
what I did. Do you have to use double gestures or single gestures? In other words, could you have your voiceover on but speech off? And the way that would work would be you'd still need to use the double gestures like you would if your voiceover was turned on. I'm wondering if your voiceover is on but your speech is turned off. And I think you use a 3-finger double tap to turn that on and off.
It won't even
So you
allow.
might try a 3. Well, what if you just do a 3-finger double tap on your screen? What happens?
Nothing.
Okay.
Okay, hold on. Let me see.
I think we need to move on.
Yeah.
This is Sri.
Yeah, Sheree, one more, and then let's try and move on to something.
Yeah, I
else.
was just going to say, you might want to call Apple Accessibility and see if they can maybe help you.
I agree.
Try to address your issue.
I appreciate you all.
Sorry we weren't able to help you, but hopefully we gave you some good ideas that'll get you out of the rut.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. Who's got another question for us? Who'd like to go next?
I have another question.
Okay. Okay, go ahead.
I found out recently that the internet service that I use, the apps on your TV, if you cut your TV off, it's still running. So it may charge you a data if you go over. Is there some way that I can go into my settings on my TV and turn the app off, even though I'm not watching TV? So the gentleman said that I would have to disconnect it from the power source. So that's like unplugging my TV.
And we're talking about an Apple TV?
No, this is the young man said smart TVs. So that's just like all of them.
Well, I'm not sure if we can answer that question for you.
Okay.
We talk about the Apple TV, but smart TVs in general are kind of beyond the scope of this call.
Okay. Thank you.
Sorry about that.
No, you're fine. You're fine.
Okay. Who's got another question for us? Who would like to go next?
This is Ned.
Hang on, let's see. Roy, let me go with Ned first, and then we'll come to you.
You bet.
Go ahead, Ned.
Yes, thank you. My question is, how does one delete more than one voice message at a time?
Ooh.
I can delete an individual, a single voice message by going to edit and then touching the voice message I want to delete, go down to delete, and then you got to go to the bottom to delete it because it's still sitting there until you delete, until you clear all or whatever you do. So I know how to do that with an individual voice message, but let's say I want to do 2, 3, 4, 5 at a time rather than doing all those gestures.
Okay, who knows some tricks about deleting voice messages from the phone app, right? We're talking the
Yes.
standard phone app. Okay?
Yes, from my iPhone. That is correct.
Okay, who can help
This is
Ned
Suva.
get rid of lots of voice messages? Who to hear?
This is Suva.
Oh, Suba, go ahead.
Hey, so if you go to the voice on your phone app, go to the voice messages, and then should be the 5th tab, unless I'm mistaken. And then there's a edit on the top right side. Click on edit, select however many you want to delete, and there should be a delete button popping up. Yeah, let me see. Okay, so delete pops up at the top. At the bottom right hand side. So once you go to edit, select however many you like to select, then delete shows up at the bottom right hand side. And that should do it.
All right. Thank you, Suva.
Okay, this is Ned again.
Yes, sir.
This is, I just have a little sliver of vision. And when I tap a voice message to delete it, it changes a color. It gets darker or something. And then when I go down to the next one and touch that one, the one up above it goes back to being a lighter color. So I'm only doing one at a time.
I think Suba's saying there's an edit button in the top, probably the top right corner.
Yes.
Select edit, and then you can start multiple selecting.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Roy, you're waiting in the wings. You're up.
Okay, my question is about putting a captcha on a picture or a whatever. You know what I'm talking about.
Alt text.
In the past, you could, or I thought I could anyway, but now you have to open the picture and go to information, and in there you can put a capture at the bottom of the picture. But when you go back to the picture, you can't find it in the actions menu. But I thought in the past you could. Once you put the capture on the picture, it would show up in the actions menu, but it's not anymore. Am I remembering that correctly?
Who knows about putting captions on pictures? Can help Roy out here. Got any photographers in the crowd?
This is Sri.
Yeah, Sri.
I'm sorry, I didn't get Roy's last part of the question. What was he asking about the last part?
This is Roy. What I'm talking about, if I'm just scrolling through my pictures and I want to put a capture on it so that I'll recognize it without, having to open it up every time. Right now, I have to open the picture and then go to information and put the capture on there. And then I can close it and go back into my list. But when I flick back to that picture and use the action by flicking straight up, I thought in the past, once you added the capture, that it would show up in the actions menu, but I still have to go back to opening the picture and then go back to info, and then I can see the captcha I put on it there.
This is Sri.
Go ahead, Sri.
I just took some pictures and added caption to it, and it's in my photo library. When I touch the picture, or when I swipe right, it's reading the caption without me opening it.
Okay, mine's not. I guess something wrong. It just says the date of the picture.
But this is Sri. So when you open it, you can hear the captions?
Only if I open it and go to information. So it's a 3-step process to find it.
Yeah, I just took some pictures over the weekend and I put captions, and it's when I touch it, it's reading the caption too without even me opening it.
Huh. Okay. I'll go back and play with it, but mine's not doing that at this point. But I'll play with it.
All right. Thanks. Sorry we weren't able to help you there, Roy.
It's Mark in Montreal.
Yes, Mark.
Sri, directed to Sri specifically, maybe he has a different method of because I was messing around with Selfie X today, and which really does a tremendous job in telling you where to position your camera. But then you go into your photo library, and of course you look for the latest pictures that you've taken. Can you review the process once you find the picture? Because I lost something along the way. So you want to add your description of the photo and then exit out, and how do you find it? So first of all, how do you put the description in properly and save it properly so that you can go back into your library and find it again? because I missed something, I guess, on the line of what you said and the steps that you follow. And the previous gentleman said he was going into more info or something. Do you have to go into more info on the picture to put the description on it, or is there another way of doing it and then saving it? I guess that's what I'm asking.
This is Sri.
Yeah, go ahead, Tree.
So when I take a picture, I go back into the picture and open it up. And then in one of the tabs on the bottom, like Roy was saying, you get information, more information. You tap on that, and I'll do a 4-finger single tap on the top of the screen and swipe left. The button that's on the top left is your annotation. Double tap that, and then you get your virtual keyboard. And you just basically type and hit turn. Or dictate and save it that way. That's the way I do it.
Okay.
Okay, this is Mark again, Sri.
Yes, sir.
So once you say or type in the information, how do you back out of it and save it? That's what do you do there? Once you put in.
You just save it, and then it just goes back into your photo library.
Oh, okay. Thank you so much. I'll give it a try. This selfie FX works really well, though. It tells you camera up, no, little to the right, little to the right. Once you got it, it says gotcha, and it says say cheese. And as long as you hold the camera there, it'll keep on taking pictures. That's pretty amazing. All right, I'm done speaking.
All right, thank you, Mark. Okay. Let's got our next question. Don't be shy.
This is Sri. I've got a question.
Yes, sir, Sri.
So I'm helping out another gentleman with his iPhone 8 Plus. I believe it's an 8 Plus. And what's happening is Siri is very low. And I would hit the volume up, and the next question I ask Siri, its volume is really loud. And then you ask the next question, it goes back to really low. And I'm not sure what's causing his Siri to be really low. His voiceover is set at, even though it doesn't apply to it, his voiceover is at 90%, and his main volume is also around 90%.
Who knows about Siri and volume? Anybody? Well, I know you can go into settings and under Siri, and I believe there's a way to adjust this. There's a slider in there, if I'm not mistaken. Check that out. See if that'll help you.
Okay, I'll take a look.
Mine was really loud, and I turned it down. I didn't need Siri yelling at me.
This is Sri.
Jim, go ahead.
What's really odd is, like, it's the first time you hit the volume up, it's really loud.
Mm-hmm.
So you think you think the volume it's fixed, and then you ask the same question again, it just goes back down.
It's different. I heard Jim in there. Maybe Jim's got a solution for us. Go ahead,
I would
Jim.
try, Shri. Okay. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. I had to move from one room to another. What I would try is getting rid of his Siri settings and redoing them completely all over again. Okay. Because what that will have him do is retrain Siri to his voice as well, and maybe it'll reset the volume where it should be.
This is Sri.
Go ahead, Sri.
Yep, we did that too. It didn't work.
Oh, okay. All right. Sorry.
Yeah, this is like I said, it works and then it stops working.
I wonder if maybe, well, I'm sure you've done a reset of the phone or restart. Where you just shut it down and restart the phone. You think that might?
This is Sri. Yeah, I did a force reboot, a regular reboot. Yeah. It's really odd. Like I said, it works the first time and then it fails the second time. And then you can go back and increase the volume. It'll work. And then fail again.
That's odd. Now, what about the sound settings where you can go in and adjust the volume controls separately, with the side buttons? You know where that is, under sound settings, sound?
Yeah, this is true. It's both
Yeah.
at 90% right now.
Oh, okay, all right. I don't know. I wish I had an answer for you.
Yeah. Thank you.
We did our best.
This
Thank
is
you.
Terry.
Yes, go ahead, Terry.
I don't know if it's the same problem, but I've had that issue when Siri is reading me something that I've typed in if I want to send a text message, and sometimes it's real loud and sometimes it's very soft, and so I wonder if it's a bug, because I've been having that same problem for a long time, and I still have iOS 14.8.
This is Suva.
Yeah, go ahead, Suva.
Something I generally try, I don't know if this was already recommended, but under sound settings, there is right below the, it's change with buttons. Right below the volume adjustment settings is change with buttons. I usually keep that off. And I don't know, maybe that's gonna help. I'm just kind of puzzled, like what is causing this irregularity between the two different sounds, increase and decrease. So, and you did mention that you were still at 14.8, or did they upgrade it to 15 on this iPhone 8 Plus?
This is Sri.
Yes.
He's running 15.3.1.
Oh,
latest update. Okay.
Yeah. So I don't know. I'm not running that. So.
This is Mark in Montreal.
Yes, sir, Mark.
Sri, have you tried, I imagine you being the pro that you are, you've tried telling Siri audibly to adjust your master volume or to adjust your Siri volume, I assume, and that doesn't stick. Is that correct?
This is true. Yes, it's not. Yeah, it doesn't stick. It's just like the first one, it'll work fine, and then like I'll ask, what time is it? It'll be really loud, and the next time I ask the same question, what time is it? It'll be, I could barely hear it.
Wow, that sounds like a bug, but it should be happening to most of us, and that's weird.
This is Sri.
Go ahead, Sri.
The next thing I was thinking about maybe is doing a system reset, see if that fixes it. We haven't gone to that path yet, but I just wanted to see if anyone else encountered this. But I appreciate the help.
All right, thank you, Sri. Okay, who's got our next question? Moving along.
This is Deb, and it's
Yes,
actually
Deb.
just a comment about that last question about the volume and stuff. Because this happens to me sometimes too, is it, instead of the sound coming out of your regular speaker, it's coming out of that top part, and when it does that, you really can't hear it. I actually usually have to get headphones and fix it or whatever. And yeah, the volume's gone down. You can touch those side buttons and raise the volume, and then that gets that back up a little bit, but I don't know what causes that either. Just curious too.
Okay. Okay, thank you. I'm sorry, that was a comment, right? Not a question. I think
Yeah,
so.
that was just that.
Okay,
Yeah, it
okay,
was.
okay, good. Okay, good. Because you said just curious at the end. So yeah. Proximity sensor does some strange things sometimes. Okay, let's move along to another question. Got a few more minutes for the top of the hour. Go ahead. I'm sorry, who was it?
Hi, I'm sorry, Anissa from
Yes,
Philadelphia.
Anissa, welcome.
Yes, thank you. Good to be here. So,
Glad you're here.
Thank you so much. I hope you can help me. So the problem that I'm having, it's with my text messages, so that when somebody sends me something with a link in it, I'm unable to open the link. My pharmacy actually did that today, and I was supposed, takes you to another website and you do whatever you do, but no help. It wouldn't go. I couldn't figure out why.
Who can help access links in a text message?
This Roy.
This is Thomas.
Hang on, I heard Roy. Hang on.
Go ahead,
let's
Thomas.
Tell you what, Roy. Let's go with Thomas. He hasn't
Yeah.
spoken up tonight.
All right. If in your settings you've gone to the rotor and have links selected as one of your options in the rotor, then when you're in the text message and you do the twist motion on the rotor and go to links, then swipe down with one finger and it will announce the link, and you double tap it and it'll open that link. Thomas is done speaking.
Thank you, Thomas.
Thank you, Thomas. Yes.
Awesome.
Yeah. Try that. That sounds like the answer.
Thank you, Brad.
Thank you, Thomas. Roy, did you have anything to add, or was that it?
No, Thomas nailed it.
All right. Thank you, guys. Okay, we still got a few minutes till the top of the hour. We can get a few more quick questions like that in, that's for sure. So who'd like to go next?
Thomas in Colorado.
Thomas, yes, sir.
I have an iPad 8 and I've taken a bunch of books off of it. And it's still on iOS 14, whatever the last iOS 14 was.
Mm-hmm.
And when I went to update to the latest iOS 15, it downloaded it and then it said install. But I keep getting a message that says error, unable to install iOS 15. Please try again later. So I'm not sure exactly what the issue could be. If anybody could help me out, please.
Okay, who's got an experience with updating iOS on an iPad issues, or should I say iPad OS on an iPad? You download it and then it won't actually do the update.
Correct. It says install now and you click that button and it says preparing update. And then about 3 minutes later, it comes up and it says, sorry, there's an error. Please try again later, but it doesn't tell you what the error is.
Okay. Anybody got any ideas? What's going on here? iPad 8's a pretty new iPad. Yeah, go ahead, Herbie.
So have you, the first thing that comes to mind is storage. Do you have enough space left on the iPad for the update to happen?
Yes, because when I first tried to do it, it said, sorry, there's not enough storage. So I cleared out some books and it's 128 gig iPad. And I think less than half of the space is being used. And I tried to call Apple and I was on the phone with Apple Care for an hour and a half and nobody answered. So I gave up.
So you cleared off the storage, but it still won't let you update?
Correct. It still comes up and says, there has been an error. Please try again later.
Have you tried restarting the iPad?
I did. I actually set that up in the assistive touch thing so that I can just hit the assistive menu and restart. So that's what I did. Yeah.
So like, did it download the update, or has it gotten that far?
No, it did download the update, and then it says click to install, and that's what I click. And then, like I said, about 3 minutes after that, it comes up with the error message.
So one thing I will mention, because I've had storage issues that's caused this to happen, so you have to have at least 5 or 6 gigs free of storage. So that's the number one thing I would double check, because it's usually, when I've encountered this error with an update, that's usually the case, is I don't have enough free space. And so I would make sure that you have at least, it's better to be safe, so the more the better, but at least 5 to 6. 6 minimum, 8 at the, the more the better. So that's usually the number one issue. Otherwise, then if that's not an issue, if you have that amount of space, then My second guess is something got corrupted with the update, and I just can't remember off the top of my head if there's a way to delete that file or not to have it re-download. But
this
I
is
would
Brad. There
check the
is.
storage. Okay, yeah, I thought there was.
You go to settings, general, storage, and it should show a list of apps and other things that that are on your iPhone, with the one taking up the most space at the top of the list, and that is usually your iOS or iPad OS update that has been downloaded, because that thing is like usually pretty big.
Okay.
And you can delete it and then you can re-download it. I've had a similar issue. I have an older iPhone SE, the original SE, and it's 128 gigs, and there's only about 15, 16 gigabytes of data on it. And I've had this where it just would not update. It was unexplainable. And I did that. I deleted it and re-download it, and eventually it just went like there was never a problem. So I don't know what to tell you.
Okay. Yeah, I appreciate that. I will go and do that. Thank you so much. Thomas is muting.
All right. Thank you, Thomas. Thank you, Herbie. Okay. We still got, I believe, let me see. I got 3 minutes till the top of the hour. Who's got a quickie question for us?
Alice from Alabama.
Okay, Alice, welcome.
Thank you. My iPhone 10 continually wants to update to the 15. I'm a fairly new iPhone user. I do not want to update because usually update tweaks something that I'm just learning to use, and it's going to tweak something. I want to refuse to update. What do I do?
Okay, who can help Alice? Who knows how to prevent an update from happening? Anybody?
This is Herbie.
Yeah, Herbie, go ahead.
It's my understanding that Apple will let you stay on iOS 14 if you do not want to update to iOS 15. And
stop that.
I think there was a button that says stay on iOS 14 or something to that effect.
They stopped it.
This is Shri.
Go ahead, Shri. I think they took that button
do you know?
away.
Do you know what version you're running on your iPhone right now?
14.
14 dot what? Do you know?
I'm not sure.
I suspect if you're not running 14.8, you're probably going to get that message. Then after you install 14.8, that's when you have the option to not do any further updates.
And she said it wants her to go to 50. My understanding is they took that away.
They
It
want
used
me
to
to
let
go
you
to
stay.
I'm sorry.
sorry,
They want me to go to 15.3
Right.
point, I think.
Right.
This is Suba.
Yeah, go ahead, Suba.
I would go ahead and turn off, go to general software update, turn off automatic update, go to your general storage, delete the update. Delete the whatever it was downloaded, the software. And that generally does the trick for me.
Until it comes back. But yeah,
Thank
that'll
you.
kick the can down the road for sure.
This
All
is
right, thank you,
Herbie.
Suba. Yeah, go ahead, Herbie.
Just one other thing I thought I'd mention, though, to really think about. There's a couple of tweaks, but overall, iOS 15, other than the focus mode, isn't that much different than iOS 14. And so if you did update, other than really the Do Not Disturb, which has some advancements, nothing's jumping out at me and saying, oh, you're going to have a totally different experience.
This is Brad. There's that haptic feedback for the nothing found.
Oh, that's right.
And that's easily remedied, but
Yeah.
you got to know about it or else it'll drive you crazy till you figure it out. But that's all I can think of.
Thank you.
Okay. And with that, we are pretty much at the top of the hour. So, Sandhya, are you there?
All right. Thank you, Brad. Oh my goodness. Lots of new good questions, new people. Really excited about that. All right. So this is the chance when people that didn't get to say hello the first time around, please say your name and where you're from so we can say hi.
Hello from Alabama. This is Alice.
Hi there. Welcome. Glad to have you. Are you a
This
new
is-
caller? Have you called in before or no?
I don't think so.
Okay. Well, real quick, how'd you hear about us?
From NFB.
All right. Well, glad to have you, Miss Alice. Okay.
Nikki
keep
from
going.
San Francisco.
Welcome, Nikki. Glad to have you.
This is Terry
from San
from,
Francisco.
Yeah, Nikki, I heard you. Welcome. All right. And Terry, welcome.
This is Helene. from
Welcome,
Phoenix.
Helene. Glad to have you.
Thank you.
Nissa again, Philadelphia.
Hey, Anissa. Welcome.
Thank you.
All right.
Sharon, New York.
Welcome, Miss Sharon.
Thank you.
Mo
Mo, welcome.
This is David from Houston.
David, welcome.
Suva from Houston.
Suva, welcome.
Rachel from Oklahoma.
Rachel, welcome. Anybody else?
Greg from Texas.
Welcome, sir.
Marvin from Chicago.
Arvid, welcome.
Arlene, North Carolina.
Welcome, Miss Arlene.
Thank you.
All right. Who else?
Deb from Kansas.
Hey, Miss Deb, welcome.
Hi,
Okay,
thank
hold
you.
on. All right, we're getting some background noise. Okay, anybody else want to say hi? You have to unmute, please. Anybody else? Didn't get to say hi. Okay. Anybody? All right. Wow. Well, that was quite a bit. So glad to have all of y'all. And okay, so now it's the time for the big reveal, shall we say, when we get to find out about our iBUG Night at the Virtual Movies, which will be this Friday at 8 p.m., 7:30 social time. And then we have a little discussion and trivia after the movie. What is that movie, pray tell? Okay, with that, we will turn it over to the amazing iBUG guy. iBUG guy, are you out there?
Yes, yes, yes. iBUG guy is here.
What? No music?
There, all you not to get no more.
I'm here, but unfortunately, the love revolutionary sends his regrets.
Oh.
He is off on hiatus to the Mediterranean. I don't know when he's coming back, but I'm trying to secure a colleague of his to come in
Oh,
at some point.
can hardly wait. All right, well, until
So,
then.
in that case, I'm just here by myself for Michael. All right, it is time for these great clues. We have 5, count them, 5, maybe 6 wonderful clues. And remember the rules, say your name, wait to be recognized to guess the name of the movie. All right, here we go. Clue number 1. This week's film is set in a 1950s coastal town.
This is Shri.
This is Ned.
Shri, then Ned.
Cape Fear.
Cape Fear, that is a coastal town, yes, but that is not the movie where we're going to see. Okay, Ned, take a shot.
The Birds.
The Birds, that's another movie on a coastal town, but that's not the one we're seeing either. I think that one's actually the 50s. I don't know about the other one that Shri guessed. All right. Any other guesses before we move on to clue number 2?
This is Sandhya. Remember, everybody, you have to unmute to say your name and wait to be recognized to answer a question or guess.
Yes, that is also true.
So everybody is currently muted. So if you want to unmute, then you know how to unmute. Okay, go ahead, Mr. McCulloch.
All right, clue number 2. It is described as a film noir.
Noir?
And it deals with the psychology of the characters.
Isn't that all film noir?
I don't have my music to play. Crickets. Okay, here we go. Sounds like that is a big goose egg. All right, clue number 3. The opening scenes are devoted to establishing the 3 central characters, all cops. Ooh, I thought that was going to give it away. Maybe no one has seen the movie. All right, moving on to clue number 4. We see the cops on the same side and never really see the antagonist until near the very end of the movie.
This is David.
David.
Is that Mystic River?
Mystic River, that would be a good guess, but it's not on the coast. Well, it's sort of on the coast, yeah.
And we already saw it.
And we've
Already
already
seen it.
We've already seen it. So. But
Okay.
we give you points for the 1 cop. All
Okay.
right, we are
Come on,
down to our
guys.
4th.
Okay.
Is it 4th?
4th. I don't know. I lost
Did the
count.
4th.
That was the 4th. Okay, here we are. This is our 5th clue. The 5th and next to the final clue. It was a specific time when the world of police work edged into show business.
This is Shree.
Shree,
LA Confidential.
LA Confidential. That has 3 cops and it's in LA, a coastal town in the 1950s. Way to go, Shree! Yes, yes, yes.
This is David.
Woo, woo, woo. David.
Yeah, technically LA is not on the coast. It's you have to go a long way to see them.
I'm gonna put him in the
Hey, I
lake.
lived in LA. I was by the coast.
There's Long Beach, there's Santa Monica, those are different towns. Those are
West LA.
but yeah.
All right, technicalities. In the 50s, it was on the coast. It is no longer on the coast. You're right. All right. Our 6th and final. Oh, no, he got it.
Got it.
All right, we're going to give away a prize. Johnny, what do we have for our winner tonight?
All right, for you, Shree. I am so excited about this one. It is a 1953 Studebaker Commander. This is a very sporty car. Apparently the old cars were very boxy looking, and this is sleek, curvy, and perfect example of a futuristic space age mid-century modern style. All right, so Sri, of course, it's in the iBUG colors, so you will make quite the statement cruising around your neighborhood.
This is Shree. I just want to say my uncle, this is back in the 70s, had a Studebaker in India.
Wow.
So it was like the car of the neighborhood.
Well, now you too can have a car of the neighborhood. All right, Sri, thank you.
This is Mark in Montreal.
Yes, sir.
2 things. You can take over for George Gray anytime on The Price is Right. If he's not available, you do such a good job there, Sandhya.
Thank you.
And Sandhya, Sandy says hello.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you,
All right.
Mark, and tell her hello. Okay,
And this
so
is Herbie.
now, okay, go ahead, Herbie.
It's really funny because I kind of used Shree in my Uber example for this cafe. I did not know he'd be winning a car, or I would have been more specific on what car to look
I
out
got
for
a
him in. So.
Studebaker Commander. Okay, well, thank you, Mr. McCulloch, for those awesome clues. And we are so happy that somebody won. Okay, thank you. And now, you want to say goodnight, Mr. McCulloch?
Good night, Mr. McCulloch.
All
wherever you
right.
are.
It's just so calm without that love revolutionary. Okay, now hold the phone. Okay, so now we are going to have our iBUG bites. That's our little segment that we do. And then right after that, we will resume with the question and answer. So be thinking of questions. Well, first listen to the iBUG bites, and then we will come back to your questions. Brad, can you unmute? Are you there?
I am here.
You are here. All right, let's go for it.
For the record, I'd like to say that The Birds was released in 1963.
All right.
But I digress. I'm sorry,
Yes,
I'm
you
an
do.
Alfred Hitchcock fan. I can't help myself sometimes.
Okay.
Okay, folks. Tonight's Buzz Bites, is that what this is? Anyway, we're here. Who cares what it's
iBUG
called?
bites. iBUG bites.
iBUG Bites. Thank you. Anyway, like I said, we're all here. Who cares what's called? We're going to talk about a little quickie. I'm not going to do a demo, but an app that's on every iPhone when it's brand new that can be very useful to a new user. And it's a simple app with tons of information in it. It's called the Tips app. And it's on every iPhone. It may be I believe there's a little folder. I've messed with mine a few times. It's not stock anymore. I think there's a folder called Extras, and it may be in there, but you can always open it by asking Siri to open Tips. So let's make sure
2012.
we can hear. Everybody hear that?
2012.
Okay.
2012.
Sounds
You hear that good?
Yes, sir. Sounds good.
Okay, so
2013.
I'm on the home screen and I'm just going to say, open Tips.
Tips, collections,
And
heading.
it opens. And what we've got here is collection. It's got a series of topics, and each topic is full of tips. Let's see, it's a simple little app.
Collections.
Okay, start off at the top, collections.
What's new? 11 tips. Video. The number 15.
Let's-
Representing iOS 15. Animated on a colorful background.
Okay, that's nice and descriptive. And it tells me this is going to be about iOS 15. There are others. Let's see.
Welcome to iPhone. Get to know your iPhone. 9 tips. Button. Essentials. Must know features you'll love. 10 tips. Button. Genius picks. Favorites from our experts. 14 tips.
Okay, you get
Button.
the idea. So
Essential. Welcome to iPhone.
let's go
Get
to
know your
welcome the iPhone.
9
We're going to
tips.
double tap and open it up.
Welcome to iPhone.
And we have
Tip 1 of 10. Adjustable.
it's adjustable. It's you can, how do we deal with this? It's like a slide. So
Adjustable. Adjustable.
there is a thing at the bottom where I can either, now once I'm on adjustable, I can flick up,
Tip 2 of 10.
tip 2 of 10, and now I can,
Video. The padlock icon on the lock screen unlocks when a face is recognized, revealing the contents of a message's notification. Face ID. Heading. Glance at your iPhone to securely unlock it. Use Apple Pay, and more. To set up an alternate appearance, go to Settings. Then, Face ID and passcode. Tip 2 of 10.
and what I did is I touched it towards the top of the screen and it read, and I swiped to the right and I got down to that adjustable at the bottom, which tells me I'm ready to go. As an alternate I could have also touched the top of the screen and do a 2-finger swipe down, and it would have read everything on the screen. You can either use that adjustable to change pages, change tips by swiping either up,
Tip 3 of 10.
goes to the next one, or swipe down.
Tip 2 of 10. Tip 1 of 10.
Or I can do the always favorite 3-finger swipe either left or right that changes pages. 3 fingers, swipe to the right, goes to the next one. Let's try it. Come on. Oh,
Welcome to iPhone.
no, it's not.
Welcome. Heading.
Oh, come on. Cooperate. I love it. No, it's not cooperating.
Tip 1 of 10.
Okay.
Tip 2 of 10.
Okay, I got to go tip 2. Well, no, it's not cooperating. It worked just fine in rehearsal. But anyway.
Sure.
Tip 2 of 10.
Yeah,
Adjustable.
well, we got the adjustable. That
Tip
works.
3 of 10.
So, anyway, Trust me, it worked.
Collections.
Let's go back
Collection.
and go to the other one.
What's new?
Here's the
11
one I
tips.
tried it
Video.
on.
The number 15.
This is about
Represent
iPhone
video. During a
15. I
FaceTime
believe
call,
we have.
the TV app is open. Play is
Okay.
tab, and a movie begins playing while the FaceTime call
Now
continues.
it's changing
The other
pages.
caller's iPhone is shown. And see what's shared with you.
It's not saying the pages, but I hear the little sound that's telling me. So anyway,
Video. During a FaceTime call, the TV app is open. Play is tab, and a movie begins playing while the FaceTime call continues. The other caller's iPhone is shown, and the movie plays there.
okay, I think we all get the idea. And there's a bunch of categories under collections.
What's new? In Watch OS 8.
There are no tabs at the bottom of the screen. It's just a series of
What's new?
slides
Welcome to iPhone.
with different categories. That's pretty much it. And you can learn a lot of things you didn't know, things you maybe, if you're an experienced user, there may be new features you don't know about. It's a really neat little app. Another feature of it, if you go to your notification, now this is on by default. You go to your settings and go to notifications. You then see a list of all kinds of apps. All the apps on your phone that have the ability to do notifications. You will find tips in there. And I believe notifications is on by default, and it will put them, you have two choices. You can have them on your lock screen or in your notification area, or both. And it will give you a new tip every day. So you have something to look forward every day when you get up. So that's the Tips app. Pretty straightforward, pretty neat. And that's it.
This is Terry.
Yes, Terry.
Did I understand you to say that this was a new app?
It's been around a while. Maybe iOS 13, 12. I don't know when it showed up. I've been using an iPhone since iOS 5. It wasn't there in the beginning, but it has been there for the last couple of 2 or 3 versions at least, if not more.
It has. That's why I was asking, because I thought you said it was a new app.
No. I said this is something that a lot of people may not have noticed. I believe if you buy a new iPhone or if you had upgraded to whatever version it was on, when it appeared, the notifications were on by default.
Right. That's what I was going to say. Yep. When you get a new phone or upgrade, a major upgrade, it often, when you turn the phone out or unlock the phone.
Yeah, usually if you get a new phone, it's going to be there. But if you've modified the notifications or something, that carries forward when you do a iOS 13 to 14 or 14 to 15 update. It's not going to change what you did. But if you wipe your phone, reset it, something like that, you're starting over. But it's kind of neat. Anybody else? Okay, see, it was so straightforward. Nobody's got any questions.
All right. Thank you, Brad.
Anissa,
Right.
Oh, there's
yes.
Anissa.
I'm
Go
sorry,
ahead, Anissa.
away from the phone, Brad. So you were saying that I missed part of this. There's a procedure we can do or steps that you can take where you can hear notifications each day in certain apps or something?
Well, this particular app is what I was talking about. All apps, many apps have the ability to send you notifications about one thing or another. And what I said was, if you go into settings and swipe down, it's not buried too far down. It's right that you'll find notifications. And when you open it up, you're able to control. There's a few settings at the top for notifications in general. And then there's a list of all kinds of apps that can give you notifications. Let's say you want your Southwest Airlines app to give you a notification that you've arrived at the airport and you got your boarding pass on your phone. It'll put it on a notification on the screen if you so choose. But the Tips app is in that list. They're alphabetical, and you'll find tips, and you're able to, number one, turn on or off notifications, and then determine if you want them to be on the home screen, the lock screen, or on the in the notifications area. There's no way to get a banner or a persistent notification. It's lock screen or notification area, one, the other, or both. And there's one or two other little settings down there. I cannot remember what they are for tweaking it. But you can, if they're not, it should be on by default unless you've turned them off. Or if you were given the phone by someone else, they may have turned it off. So it's something you may want. It'll give you a new tip of the day every day. And that may be something kind of neat that people like.
So then I guess it begs the question, so what tip or kind of tips does it share with you, I guess?
It's tips about using your iPhone or tips about iOS. When I opened it and looked at it, right up at top were tips about using iOS 15, because currently, even though it's been out now for about 6 months, that is the new version of iOS. So it's still talking about what's new in iOS. There was some things about using your iPhone. I'm sorry, I set my phone down now. I did see one in there about accessibility. So there was a whole section on accessibility, and each one had anywhere in it from 9 to 15 tips in it. I don't know if they update or change that often, or if they are what they are, and they're, once you've read them, they don't change. So, but it's certainly something worth taking a look at, especially for our new users.
Mm-hmm. Yes, definitely. Thank you.
This is Sri.
Yes, sir, Sri.
Brad, do you know, can you get tips for other devices, or is it very specific just to that device?
I believe it's just for the iOS device. I haven't even looked to see if there's tips on my iPad. I would think if there is, that one would be tailored towards the iPad. I've never seen it on my Mac. However, when I update to a new version, there's something in there, but we're not here to talk about the Mac.
All right. Anybody else? Questions for Brad about tips? Or tips about tips? Okay. All right, Brad, thank you so much.
Thank you. My
going to be
pleasure.
lots of fun to explore. Yes, I think I have actually turned it off, but I think I might turn it on again. Okay, now we are going to go back to our question and answers. And if you did not get a chance to ask a question the first round, first hour, we would love for you to, say your name and go ahead and ask your question. Sometimes things go pretty quickly. So this is your chance. So anybody have a question that they didn't get to ask? We'd love to hear from you. Anybody, just say your name and we will entertain your question. Or even if you have asked a question, it's fine.
This is Suva.
Go ahead, sir.
All right. So how would you, well, this is a question. Basically, you have your Apple ID and, you don't remember your password. And how would you go about helping out someone who, just go over the reset process and just so you can continue along with your, whatever the help topic is. Basically, how would you go about resetting a password?
So resetting the password on your Apple ID.
Right. And it's not for myself. I mean,
it's for somebody else. Okay.
Somebody else far away. Yes.
All right. Anybody have any suggestions for Sri? I know we talked a while ago about when you get locked out, what can you do? Anybody want to talk about?
Mark in Montreal.
Go ahead, sir.
As a first resort, I would go into the account person's name and click on that, and there should be, if you type in if the Apple ID is there already, you might ask for a password, or there should be a forgot password button. The other option you have, of course, is to go to, and I had to go to this the other day because I changed my ISP, so I'm on a Gmail account now. So I wanted to change my Apple ID, which was my old email, to my new one. So you go to id.apple.com and you can go in and sign in. And if you forgot your password, you can say forgot password, and they'll either send you a phone on your, send you a code, passcode on your device, or they'll send it in an email to your old email address. And so that way you can recover, you can reset your password. I understand now that in iOS 15 somewhere there is a way to recover your password, or if you do get locked out, you can set it up so that another person, say I could get my wife to, I can send a thing to Apple that says if I get locked out, send a notice to Sandy that I've got locked out, and she can tell me how to get back in. Something to that effect. It's one of the new features in iOS 15 that you can do, as well as if you pass on, you can set up the phone so that that person you designate can get into your phone and disable it, or whatever needs to be done. And so these are advanced options. But to answer the basic question, go to id.apple.com. If you can't get in from your Apple ID on your phone, and just go in there and put in your Apple ID, which is usually your email, and click on forgot password, and then you'll get steps from there to get it to change your password.
All right. Thank you, Mark. Okay, Suba, I think that should take care of it right there. All right.
Sure. This is Suva again.
Okay.
It's the problem is it's not for me, so I'm trying to help somebody far away.
Right.
This is Shri.
Shri.
Does so he can't get into this machine, is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. I was going to say, if he's looking just to reset it, you can go into your device and go to your name,
right,
password, and reset the password. But if you can't get in the device, then you'd have to probably go through the computer.
I mean, if I have access to the device, I can easily do it, but that's not, I'm not with them. So
this is Brad.
Brad.
I'm sorry, I wasn't paying attention. Did we say have we mentioned go to appleid.com?
Right, Brad. Mark was.
Yeah. Okay, good. Because you don't need the machine for that.
Yeah, Brad, it's Mark from Montreal.
Yeah, go ahead.
It's id.apple.com, and then you put in your Apple ID, which would typically be your email address.
Right.
And click on forgot password or whatever, and there can be steps from there.
I've done appleid.com. It takes you to the same place.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But you got to know your secret questions, and my father couldn't remember his, so that wasn't any help to us.
This is Shri.
Go ahead.
I think they got rid of the secret question if you did a two-factor authentication.
Okay. All right. Any other help for Suba? It's a little bit of a complicated. You're helping somebody else. Okay.
This is Roy.
Roy, go ahead.
This is about changing your Apple ID to another email address. If you go to appleid.com and do that, once you've done it and you go back to your phone, is it going to notice that change, or do you have to do something on the phone to finish the process? Does anybody know?
Okay, so this is a new question then. So changing your Apple ID to a new ID, okay? And then you want to, when you go to your phone, is it going to know? Or do you have to somehow sign in or something, right? That's the question.
Sorry, Mark in Montreal.
Yes, go ahead.
Once you change your Apple ID, it will send you a confirmation in your new email address that it's been changed. Okay, then you go to your other device and you have to sign in with your new Apple ID, of course, and the password that you created for the Apple ID, i.e. the new email address for it to be initiated. If you're doing it, say, on a computer or a different device, and you've gone through the steps and you've got the verification email that it's done in your new email, then you have to go into your other device and sign in with your new Apple ID.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Mark. All right, Roy. Hope that helps.
It does. Thank you, Mark.
Right. Okay. Great questions. Who's next? Somebody new hasn't had a turn? Like to ask a question? Anybody? Some interesting issues.
Marvin from Chicago.
Yes, go ahead, Marvin.
Thank you. I'm looking to add ringtones to my phone. Is there a suggested app that I should try?
All right, just before we open it up, are you talking about creating ringtones or buying ringtones, or what were you thinking? Like
Creating.
Oh, that's a good question. Once you find out, tell me, okay? Okay. All right. Anybody want to help Marvin out? Because that is, anybody have any thoughts? How to create a ringtone for Marvin and me? Okay. Anybody? Any experience with that? So this is Sandhya. I have tried it myself, Marvin, and it's hit or miss. I'm trying to remember, there's like Ringtone Maker and all of them. They're not terribly accessible, at least the ones I've had. And I know that I think some people end up, there's a way to do it if you use a computer, but we really don't deal with the computer on this call. I mean, there's always the option of buying ringtones, but I understand. I would like to be able to create them. And the issue becomes, it wants you to like pick a song, and then you have to like mark where you want it to start and where you want it to end. And I've just never, they're very similar names, like Ringtone Maker, and they're all kind of like that name. Anyway, so I haven't had any luck, and that's been about a year or two that I've tried it, but I might have to do a little research and see if there's anything new. Have you already looked for anything, or you just wanted to see what we had to say?
I was looking to see what you guys might have.
Yeah, not
I
great.
tried the Remaker thing too, but I didn't have any success with it.
Okay, Shri, what you got?
I think, you can create a ringtone using GarageBand. Maybe we can like do a cafe segment on that, because I've seen it be done using GarageBand.
Oh, okay. Well, there we go. Well, we'll be there then. Okay, thank you, Shri. Yeah, that's something I've always wanted to do. And then it also kind of depends. I know there was some issue with like, the songs in your library. Did you buy them? Did you rip them? Or, all kinds of other stuff happens. So, okay,
Mark
Marvin.
in Montreal.
Yes, sir.
Just a quick comment about that. You have to be mindful of the fact that if you have an account with Apple Music and you're not buying music, you can't use those to make a ringtone.
Right.
I don't know if people realize that or not. And Shri is right. You can do it in GarageBand. I've never tried it. A certain friend of ours who is known to some of the iBUG people on here sent me an email not years ago, maybe 9 months ago, about how to do it. But I lost the email, and he has a whole system, Earl Zwicker in Toronto. If anybody knows Earl, email him and ask him, and I'm sure he'll put it out there. If you know Earl, he's done it and it works for him with iOS. So there is a way to do it. There's also a way in GarageBand to do it. It would be nice maybe as a cafe item some month that we address that, and maybe that would be cool.
Looking forward.
I'm done speaking.
Thank you, Mark. Okay, thanks, Shri. And good question, Marvin. Yes, sir. Mr. McCulloch.
So I was told of this one, and I've never actually tried it, but there's an app called Music to Ringtone.
Oh, yeah.
I think it was actually Kushal that mentioned that at
Oh,
some other meeting.
That's right.
Kushal's still on? No, he's gone.
I think he's gone. Oh my gosh, I forgot about
But
that.
we might look into that one.
How do you remember that?
I think that one's limited to, I mean, you have to, I don't think you can just take any music and, plug it into the app. I think you have to select the music from the app. So I'm not sure how that actually works.
Okay. Well,
You may have to buy the song or something, and then, which it doesn't do much for you.
okay. It's a great point. Remember that app. Now that you say it, it came back
So
to me.
it's, music to ringtone, all one word.
All right. Thank you, Mr. McCulloch. All right. Very great question, Marvin. Okay. Well, we'll keep our eyes on that one and we'll figure it out soon. Okay. Who's next? Somebody new? Who's got a question or a problem or an observation?
Thomas in Colorado.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Just real quick, if anybody uses the Soundscape application, I just got a pair of AirPod Pros the other day, and it has head tracking in it. Is anybody familiar with how that works? Thanks. I'm done speaking.
Thank you, Thomas. Okay. Anybody?
This is Sri.
Sri.
Thomas, can you come and join us on Sunday? Because we'll talk about Soundscape at the cafe.
I will be there on Sunday, provided Michaels doesn't ask me to work.
Oh, we're gonna you don't have to. We give you permission not to work. Okay.
Oh, okay. No,
All
I should be there on Sunday. Yeah,
4 to
I'll
6. 4 to 6. Okay.
all right. So we'll leave that question unanswered till
Yeah.
Sunday.
It's a
Thank you so
perfect
much.
question. Yeah. Okay.
Thomas is done speaking.
Thomas is done speaking. Okay. Who's next? All these cool questions.
This
Anybody?
is Terry.
Go
I have a
ahead.
question, but I'm happy to defer
It's okay.
to
Go ahead.
somebody
Go ahead.
different.
Yeah.
Okay. Could somebody explain a little bit about the layout of the screens on the larger phones, like the like the 10R or some of those, or they call them X, I think, isn't it, for extra large screen or something. I understand that they're set up similar, at least in some apps, like I'm thinking in settings and maybe some other apps. They're set up similarly to the iPad screens, where you have a double screen, if you will, certain things on the left side and certain things on the right side. But I don't, since I have an SE, I don't have a very good handle on how that works for those phones.
Okay, Herbie's going to help you out. Go ahead, Herbie.
So the iPhone is not the iPad, and
right.
So it's all the larger screen is just larger real estate. There's no different layout or anything like that.
This is Sri.
Free.
Doesn't I know the larger phones has up to 24 apps on the home screen. I wasn't sure how many the SC has on the home screen. Does it also have 24? Or up to 24 apps, I should say.
This is Terry.
Go
I
ahead.
don't know.
Yeah.
Mark in Montreal.
Go ahead, Mark.
I'm on a regular iPhone 11, and I got the 24 apps per page. So
Okay.
that
Thank
doesn't.
you.
I don't think that changes.
This is Marty.
Marty.
I believe there are 20. Yeah, there are also 24 apps on the 8, and the SE, the screens with the home buttons.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Marty, for that clarification. Okay. Terry Ann, any other? I think that may answer your question. I hope.
I have to go back and look to see what I read, because I think I've read something different
Yeah,
than
because
This is Herbie.
yeah, go ahead, Herbie.
The only difference I can think of with a larger phone that may be different from a smaller phone is you have, at least I think you still have it because it's not something I find, the reach option where you can bring something down to the center of the screen in VoiceOver. But otherwise, like I said, it's, at least from a VoiceOver perspective, it doesn't matter what size phone you have, it all looks the same. There's no, we don't have, even with the larger phone, we don't have the split screen or anything like that. That is strictly an iPad thing.
All right, and I think
This is
Shri.
Shri.
Yeah, Shri, go ahead.
Yeah, the reachability is under accessibility. And I think Herbie's right. I don't think it comes in the smaller phones, that option.
It does. This is Terry. I have it on my SE.
That's interesting.
Okay.
I thought that was real. Okay. Yeah, that's
This
counterintuitive.
is, this
Brad.
is Brad.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say, is these phones that, I mean, I started out with an iPhone 4S and they've gotten a little bit bigger, and I've never had the plus or the max size, but I have seen them and had my hands on them. And like Herbie's saying, the only difference over the generations of iPhones is as the screen has gotten bigger, they have added additional rows of apps. Or if you're looking at something like the, say for the settings app, for example, where there are, lines of items on the screen, you got more real estate. So there's more items on the screen. But as far as being a voiceover user who's using it with little or no vision, you're not going to notice any different. It's just bigger in your hand. And, functionally, they're identical. There's that reachability thing that got added at some point.
Right.
But other than that, I can't think of anything. It's not an iPad, like Herbie said. That's a different ball of wax.
Okay. Well, if you have something else that you want to, go and explore and then come back, Terry Ann, we can entertain that next time. Okay.
Okay, great.
Thank
Thanks.
you.
This is
All
Jody.
right. Jody.
Yeah, the reachability feature, you can actually turn it off if you go to accessibility and touch. I turned it off because I found it annoying. Every once in a while, you'll hear this swishy sound, and that's phone is actually going into that mode. And I found I wasn't using it. It was just annoying. Also, under the touch features, you can add the back tap. You can customize a back tap command, which I think is kind of cool. I think Shri talked about that once. But anyway, you can turn off that reachability feature. And it is available on the smaller phones like the SE 2020.
Great. Thank you, Jody.
This is Chris.
Hey, Chris.
There was something in that iOS 14 manual that you sent out. There was some difference in the larger phones. Maybe when you switched it to landscape mode and it made a sidebar. There was some kind of difference.
Oh, okay. That's good to know. So
This is Terry.
go ahead.
Thank you, Chris. I'm not totally going crazy.
You're just half crazy. That's all.
Yes.
Okay. We clarified that.
I'll go check the
Thank you
manual.
This is
And
Herbie.
Go
thank
read
you
the
for
manual.
clarifying my
Who reads the manual
reachability
anyway?
thing.
Okay, Herbie. Go ahead, Herbie.
I mean, in my defense, I don't use I've never used the phone in landscape mode. I always have it locked in portrait mode, so that would be why I've never noticed a difference, I guess, with the different models. But I guess that would make sense if you are going to use your phone in landscape mode. Maybe they will make it. I can see where they might make it more iPad-like in that respect, because you would be using a slightly larger real estate. But like I said, I always use my phone in portrait mode, so yeah.
Okay, thank you, Herbie. Okay, was there somebody else had a comment? Okay, I guess not. Well, thank you, Chris.
There's
Terry.
Jody with a quick comment.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I heard the landscape mode wasn't going to be available for the home screen anymore. I'm not sure if that was, I heard that on a YouTube video. I'm not sure if that's a new update or whatever, but that anyway, I just heard that
Okay.
someplace.
All right, thank you, Jody. All right, who's next? Question, comment, even if you've had a turn already, if you'd like to ask another question, you're still more
This
than
is Sri.
welcome. Sri.
So I was using my phone. This is a Bluetooth question. So I had my phone on and I was just listening to it through the speakerphone. And then I put the phone down on my on next to me on the bed. And then next thing I noticed is that some Bluetooth got picked up. Do we know why that would have gotten picked up if it didn't get picked up prior?
Was it another device in your room or something, or what?
This is Brad.
Brad.
What app and what device? What app are you using and what device got picked up?
So I was just, I think I was watching YouTube or Netflix, one of those two things, and I just placed the phone down. Next thing I know is, I couldn't hear anything. Then I figured, okay, somehow Bluetooth got paired.
What app? I mean, you were using through, well, that sounds like it's Brad. It sounds like it's your iOS. Like maybe you came in range of something, a speaker.
This is Herbie.
Somebody had something on and you got close to it. I don't know.
Okay. Oh, sorry.
This is
done?
Sri.
Hang on. Herbie wants to say something. Go ahead, Herbie.
So the only thing I can think of is you must have been in range of a Google device that supports Chromecast, and YouTube decided on its own volition to send to it. Because even then, I think you still have. I always thought you had to give it permission to do that, but that would be my guess. That's what was happening.
This is Sri. So there's no Chromecast in that room. What was really odd is, like I'm just listening to it on the speakerphone, and then I just happened to lay the phone next to me in the bed, and like 20 seconds later, it got paired. So I was expecting if it was going to get paired, I was expecting it to get paired when it was next to me.
Okay. All right. Very interesting, Sri.
Maybe Sandhya did something to my phone.
Yeah, probably. All right. Thank you.
This is David.
Sri. David.
Well, I have another kind of similar issue with Bluetooth. When you go into the Bluetooth settings, it shows you all the devices you've paired with your phone. There's an option to forget the device, but when I do that, it never takes the device off the list. I don't know if it's supposed to remove the device or it just knows that you don't want to pair with that thing anymore, but it still keeps it on for historical purposes or nostalgia or I don't know. I mean, I've got a couple of headphones I lost. I mean, they're gone, but they're still showing up on my.
This is Marty.
Marty, go ahead.
When you do the forget device option, do you, because it will ask you sort of like a confirmation, do you really want to forget the device? And I think you have to answer that prompt or it probably won't complete the forget.
Yeah, I did the whole thing. I mean, it asked me, but I don't have the devices anymore. I mean, like one set of headphones I lost. I don't know if you have to have the device with you to actually remove it, or it's like orphaned, I guess, because it's not. I mean, because it's no.
This is Herbie.
Okay, Herbie.
My thought is maybe it's your headphones that though you've lost them, but they've not given up on you, and they're trying to say, no, please don't leave us, please, because whenever I do a forget device, it generally goes away. So
Herbie goes. I mean, David used to go through headphones pretty quickly. All right, go ahead. Tree.
So David, it made me think because for some reason my phone picks up my neighbor's device and I would forget it and it would still come up.
Oh.
So I'm wondering if certain devices just constantly tries to pair.
Yeah.
Because it's not all devices. It's just
I mean
it's very few that I've noticed it tries to repair.
Okay. Well, I mean the last headphones I lost on the street and I lost one of them and I know my frustration, I just threw the other one down the drain and because I was upset because I was full of my mask and it knocked the headphone off and I couldn't find it. And, but that's one of the ones that's still on there. But
yeah.
Yeah. Anyway.
All right. Thank you, David. Okay. Well,
This
okay.
this is Helene.
Helene, go ahead.
Is there an event, I remembered from a while ago that you had mentioned, Sandhya, about March 8th, new devices at noon or something.
You are so perfect. Okay, Helene, thank you. I was going to mention it at the end, but we are perfect timing right now. And thank you for actually listening. Okay, so it is the Apple Peak Performance is the name of the program tomorrow, and that'll be 10 Pacific, and everybody else can adjust accordingly. So it will be talking about the 3rd generation SE. We talked a little bit about it at our Apple workshop, some of the new features. It's going to have the same form factor and great price of $399. I think they had a new iPad coming out. So there's going to be some cool toys that they're going to be introducing tomorrow. So yeah, definitely check it out, and you can listen to it on the Apple website, and there are various other
This
ways.
is Herbie.
Yeah, go ahead, Herbie.
So 2 things I want to mention. So I'm not sure about the Apple website, but definitely if you listen to it through the Apple TV app, you can get audio description. Just make sure that it's turned on in your settings.
Apple description.
YouTube, you definitely will not get the audio description. That has definitely been the past experience of everybody. But the Apple TV app, it is in the Watch Now category, I believe is where it is. And you'll see a heading that'll show up. I don't know if it's going to be there now, but it'll be there tomorrow. The other thing I want to mention, though, that if you follow us on Twitter at iBUG Today, I will be live tweeting the event as best I can. These tend to get more and more fast-paced. Even with the audio description, it can still be visual. And so I'll be live tweeting and tweeting out other people's perspectives as well. So make sure you follow us on Twitter at iBUG Today, and you will be able to stay current.
This is Marty.
Thank you, Herbie. That's a lot of work. Okay, go ahead, Marty.
You do get the audio description if you do listen to it on the Apple website, because that's where I usually follow it.
This is Brad.
Brad.
Yeah, you want to make sure you go into settings and accessibility, and there is an option in there to turn on audio description, and it'll work wherever available. I usually listen to it on the website, open Safari and go to apple.com, and it is pretty prominent right there at the top. Pretty simple. I mean, some people like the Apple TV app. That's cool. But I've always been doing it on the website, and you can't lock the screen, but other than that, it'll play, and it is audio described. It's pretty cool. And if you miss the event, go back to the website and it is there, and you can listen to it on demand.
All right. And we
This is
usually
Herbie.
post it on our website as well. Go ahead, Herbie.
So I wonder, so at least with a lot of TV apps, sometimes one trick you can do with screen locking, I don't know if it'll work in Safari. I think it would work in the TV app, and you can also leave the TV app because of the picture-in-picture support. But if you're wearing headphones, if you lock the screen, clicking the play pause button or tapping, depending on which model earphones you have or AirPods, some will oftentimes resume playback even with the screen locked. So there's a little trick there that I thought I'd mention. It doesn't work for everything, but a lot of things it does. So
Okay. Thank you, Herbie. All right, guys.
This is
Good
Shree.
question. Go ahead, Shree.
What other rumors do you guys know that's coming?
Go back and listen to the Apple workshop. I'm just kidding.
This is Brad.
Brad, go ahead, Brad.
One I read today is the rumor it will be a green iPhone 13.
13.
And a purple. I think they said iPad Air. I can't remember which iPad, but a purple iPad.
We're going to have Barney colors now.
Yeah, well, we had a purple iPhone 12 last year, and then they did away with it. They said iPhone 13, so I don't know if that's just the 13. Does that include the 13 mini? They didn't say 13 Pro, so I think they're upper.
I thought they said red, white, and black for the small.
Well, I read today a new 13, a green phone for those of you who are the fan of the green.
All right, go ahead, Herbie.
So first of all, I think we should just get the red phone because then you get the nuclear option. But
Yeah,
even
I
with
like
use
it.
your Apple device for
Yeah.
creating nuclear weapons. I just wanted to mention though another iBug plug that I do tweet out a lot of the rumors. Again, at iBug Today on Twitter. That is the only place I do not post them to Facebook. I will post the occasional link to the Facebook group that I think is like super, super important. But the majority of the stuff you have to follow the iBug Twitter account at iBug Today. And did I mention that's IBUG
Yes,
Um,
you
this,
did.
this
Okay,
is
Helene, go ahead.
Helene. How hard is it to Twitter?
Oh, okay. Who would like to tell Helene a little bit about Twitter? Anybody?
It's overrated.
Please.
This is Herbie.
Go ahead, Herbie.
First of all, for considering everybody's interest in rumors and stuff, you may want to rethink the comments about Twitter. It just depends on how you use it. Twitter is in a lot of respects easier than Facebook because for the most part it's a lot straightforward. Now, one thing I will mention is the iBug tweets are not protected, so you can actually go to twitter.com/iBug today and read them there. So you don't, and that doesn't even require a Twitter account. That just requires a web browser. But it's a simple matter of getting the Twitter app and signing up. I think you can also sign up with the third-party Twitter apps like Twitterific and stuff, but some of those do cost. The Twitter app is free. And this is where it gets interesting, though, is because Twitter makes a lot of little changes where you have to kind of change the sorting and stuff like that. And so there are some advantages, like with the Twitterific app, that can be a little bit easier than the Twitter app. But once you sort out the Twitter app, it's not that bad. And
okay.
But Twitter itself is free, so.
Thank you. That's a great question, Helene, and that's pretty. It's a good way to some people use it to get information, news, follow politics. There's all kinds of ways to say what you want to do, and it's a very powerful app as well. So
This is Shri.
Shri.
Yeah, one thing I would also say about Twitter, we get a lot of local police alerts with the Twitter account. They usually send out information if there's an accident at a certain road, they'll tweet it out. At least they do here in Northern Virginia.
All right.
This is Terry.
All right, Terry.
A comment and a question. The comment, I think that you have to use your Pulse, Sandhya, and get iPhones in the iBug colors. When is that going to happen? I think you have to work on that. Yes. And the question is, in the same way that Apple AirPods, I think that's what you call them, where you have the separate individual things that you put in your ears, you can buy hooks or things that will, if they fall out of your ears, you won't lose them. Does anybody know if there are any generic type devices that would work with other earbuds, the ones that are the individual, what do they call those?
So you want like a tether. You want a tether to connect the two, is what you're saying.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Anybody have a quick response?
This is Shri.
Okay. Whoa. Brad, and then Shri, then Jody. Go, Brad.
Amazon is your friend. Go to Amazon, search for it. You'd be surprised. It's probably there.
Search for you'd be surprised. It's probably there.
You could try that too, but you might just search for, earbud tether. I don't know. Think of something generic. You'd be surprised what pops up.
Okay.
I mean, I've had something like what she's talking about that were specifically for AirPods Pro. And now that the third gen is out with a similar design, they probably would have worked on any of them. Okay. But it's something that you stuck the stem through and put it around your neck. So if one falls out, at least it's attached to the other and it's easier to find. But I bet you find I would think they're somewhat depending upon the design of the AirPod. I mean, the design of the earbud. And I've seen some that maybe a little, they don't have a stem or things like that. But, I'd search on Amazon and see what you find.
Okay, quickly,
Did,
Shri. Go Shri.
Brad
find
answered it.
anything.
Okay, Jody.
Yeah, I was just gonna say I've got a one ear over the ear earphone earbud, and I just got a cord and taped it to the back, and then put a safety pin on the other end to pin to my shirt as a quick fix, because you'd take your mask off or your glasses, whatever, and it's so easy to lose them, and when they fall and you fall and then you can't find them. So that's why I've got it here, and if it falls off, it just stays on the cord.
All right, thank you,
So
Jody.
you can rig one up yourself,
Right.
Yeah,
That
okay.
way, David will not be throwing them in the drain. Okay, David.
This
we
is
hope-
Sabrina.
Okay, last comment. Go, Sabrina.
There are some Bluetooth headphones that I recently came across that actually, when you put them in your ears, they form to your ear canal every time that you put them in and take them out. And you can just, rock out to your music or whatever you're doing and shake your head all around. And they're so actually accurately formed to your ear that they will not fall out if you are looking for something like that and they're Bluetooth.
Cool. Well, you'll have to tell us the name of it next week. Okay, Sabrina, please.
Okay.
All right. Okay, y'all. With that, we are going to say goodnight. Thank you, Brad, for helping me facilitate tonight. And okay, just quickly recap for this week. Tomorrow's Clubhouse, and we're going to talk about, basically it's a mini buzz tomorrow from 5 to 6. Any other questions, burning questions that we didn't get to today, we can deal with tomorrow. Then
Talk about the Apple event.
Oh yeah, of course we should talk about that too. Oh, the Apple event. Watch that. The peak performance, and that's at 10 p.m. 10
Central.
10 a. Well, whatever. Some people. Okay, whatever.
Yeah.
Okay, at 12 Central. Okay. All right, we're in Texas. Not everybody's here. Okay, Ben, on Thursday, the Vila Book Club. We're watching The Rosie Project, reading The Rosie Project, DB 78,150. Start reading now. It starts at 6:30 is the start for the Vila Book Club. Then Friday, we're watching LA Confidential. It's going to be a really good movie, lots of suspense and intrigue, and going to learn a little bit of history of LA. All right. And then, of course, the cafe, talking about travel. And, we got a little tease there of one of the apps that's going to be covered is the Soundscape app, and there's some other cool ones, and I know y'all are going to enjoy it. So that's 4:00 on Sunday. And then remember, just register and follow us on our website and get all of our notifications. And remember, our fundraiser right now is the gift card. So all that information's on our website. Thank y'all for coming, and thanks for all the great questions, and welcome to all the new people that joined us today. And we appreciate you guys. And we will see y'all next week. Good night.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.